Welcome everyone to my presentation. So this is the sensory marketing about chapter 7 and 8. Moving the first one is about chapter 7, sensory visual for taste. So first one, let's come to the sound, the sensory visuals for sound. The first one is the introduction to sound in the marketing. So sound is one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools in sensory marketing. In a noise competitive world, sound often becomes the first signal that cuts through the cluster. Think about here a tiny dim before a Netflix show or Intel claim. Each of these instantly tell you who brand is, what they stand for, and the feeling they want you to have without a single word being spoken. So sound is the second fastest sense after the sight, processed in about 50 million seconds. It can trigger instant emotional response, joy, excitement, nostalgia, even fear. It works on two levels. It's consciously we notice and process it, songs, jingles, and voiceovers. And the second one is subconsciously. It changes our mood, behavior without active action. It appears in multi-brand touch points, brand identity, sonic logos, single, campaign music, product design, clicks, homes, engine warms, the sound of packaging, open retail service environment, about backgrounds, music, and equal sound. So sound works into two ways. Often, sometimes is it the star of the show, like the catchy jingle, and sometimes it's like the background actor, quietly shaping your emotions and guiding your behavior. In marketing, both roles are equally important. The second one is the physiological of hearing. So human hearing range about 20 Hz deep bass to 20 kHz, like high triple. The ear detects pitch, volume, rhythm, and timbre, all of which carrying the meaning. Brain process sound in about 0.05 seconds, faster than smell, slower than sight. Sound is omnidirectional. Unlike vision, you don't need to feel it to perceive it. Hearing stays active during sleep, sharpening comfort and alertness. So our hearing system is always working, even when our eyes are shut. That's why hotels pay attention to the hum of the air conditioner, or why hospitals use gentle soundscapes in recovery rooms. Even in sleep, sound influence our comfort and mood. So moving to the next part, a pathological of sound. The first one is about emotional power of music. So music regulate moods. Upbeat tracks engineer slow ones relax. The second one is about the strong link with memory. Hearing a certain song can instantly bring back an old moment. Therefore, it's auto perception of time. Waiting feels shorter when there is pleasant music. So the marketer can apply it in their service. Also, the tempo have the effect that fast tempo is equals to energy, orient, or excitement, and slow tempo equals to calm, luxury, and intimacy. So music is not just a background noise; it is a mood engine. It can make us feel more awake, more nostalgic, or more at it. And because it is no tie to memory, it can enter a brand to a personal moment in our lives. The next one is about sound symbolic. So as we can see, beat it equal to high beat equal to light, quick and playful, like toy as or notification sounds, and low equal to authority, power, and stability, such as luxury car ads or movie trailers. So about tempo, fast tempo equals to urgency, like flash sales or support brands, and slow equal to relaxation, and sophistication is about maybe about premium hotels. And the last one is about volume, is about loud equal to excitement and dominantly concert or energy drinks, and soft like something like meditation apps. So sound elements like beat, tempo, and volume act like emotional signposts that they tell us how to feel about a brand without saying a single word. So about the next part is learned associations. So our reaction to sound is shaped by culture and experience. For example, harp or piano is related to elegance or refinement. Drums related to power and primary energy, something like that. So background music affect shopping behavior. For example, wine shop with French music will make a more French wine sales. So we don't come into the world knowing that a piano means elegant, but we learn it through repeated cultural exposure. So marketing can use that learned connection to nudge their choices in subtle ways. Moving to the next part is about the sounds in marketing strategy. So the first one is about product sound design. So every product makes a sound either by design or accident, and signature sounds become a part of brand identity. For example, Apple marks startup term is about the optimistic and reliability, or more simple like that. So the distinctive sounds can be legal trademarked. So product sounds are often underestimated, but they can be so distinctive at that they become as valuable as a logo. The Hillary wrote, for example, it's such a part of the experience that fans can identify it from blocks away. The next one is about retail and service environment. So music pace can change customer behavior. For example, fast music equal to quicker pace. So like the fast food, something you will appear in the fast food store, or slow music equal to more browsing, higher sales will appear in some luxury retail, and music genre will must match brand identity, and if they mismatch, it will damage the trust because the customer cannot remember you when your messages are not consistent. About the case, we can see that wine store studies show that music style could influence product selection without customers realizing it. So, in conclusion, Chau is one of the quietest influencers in retail. And the customer may not remember what song we're playing, but their behavior will reflect it. And the last one is about Sonic brand. So it is about the sharp, memorable sounds that represent the brand. Represent the brand. For example, Netflix have the tandem in the first one, in the first fourth one, or we have Chocobai have a sound that Chocobai is something like that. They have the signature sound of that brand. So Sonic logo like that we mean that hear and sound and you immediately think about the brand, and often the feeling is associated with. Moving to the next one is sensory principles for sight. So sight is the most relied on sense. We process visuals faster than any other input, and first impressions are overwhelmingly visual. That's why marketers pour so much effort on this into design. So the vision have the significant importances in marketing. So the fast sense process in of the fast sense processed in 0.02 second, and that make the first impression. Visual on those decoration, they define how we receive the breast trustworthiness, quality, and personality before we even try the product. And the next one is about the visual elements in branding. So we have color pathological. So here we can see that red represent to the energy, orange or archetype stimulation. Blue represent to trust, calm, and professionalism. Green equals to nature, health, and sustainability. Yellow equals to optimism and attention. Black equals to luxury, authority, and societification. So in conclusion, color increases brand recognition by up to 80%. Color is one of the most quickly shortcut to emotional meaning. It's why fast food chains use a lot of red and yellow, while luxury brands often use black and gold, because that is the color perception of the customer, and they assume that that color represents to that kind of brand. So the brand use that color to identify themselves. The next one is about shape and symbols. So even without words, shape communicate. A round logo feels more approachable. A sharp and annual logo feels more high tech. Yeah, something like that. And the last one is typography. So serif is equals to traditional and reliability. Sans serif equals to modern and clean. Script equals to elegant and creativity. Bold equals to strength and authority. So typography has a voice, even if the words are same. Changing the font can change the entire mood. Moving to the next one is about visual marketing strategy. So the first one is packaging design, which is really important, and the marketing also pay a lot of attention to this part. So because it serves both functional and emotional roles. It influences perceived taste, freshness, and quality. And the consistency also reinforce the brand identity. For example, Tiffany Blue Box equal to luxury and tradition, and the customer also remember about this brand about luxury one. Or more example, like Fela, they identify them as a traditional coffee, maybe Chau and hidden coffee, and all the color and all the packaging of the cup of them also represent that kind of message. The next one is about retail visual merchandising. So the store layout, lighting, and single each shape experience. Bright lighting equals to energy and urgency. Soft lighting equals to comfort and exclusivity, and visual cues guide customer flow. So some store like IKEA are master of using visual design to lead customer through a journey and to ensure they see more products. So moving to the case study that Apple is about a minimalism white space focused on product that you can go to the any stores of Apple. Also we can see it. Coca-Cola have the consistent red coffee bottle, and IKEA is immersive life like room setups. So each brand have each visual the visual and layout that make the customer remember them. Like they when they come to the Apple or Coca-Cola, they will have a specific adjective about that brand. So top brand keeps their visual identity so consistently you can recognize them instantly even with their logo present. That's so moving to the next one is about multi-sensory marketing that is about integrating about sound and sight that we can combine all sense to increase the recall that for example, bright visual and upbeat music will make the customer have the perceived freshness in food advertisement. So to conclusion, I have the four main points here. The first one is about sound influence mood, behavior, and brand recall. Vision dominance first impression and recognition. Consistently in sound and sight builds trust, and multisensory alignment amplify marketing impact. So moving to the next chapter is chapter 8, multisensory principles. We come to the first one is about introduction to multisensory marketing. So why multisensory matter? So it is because the single cell marketing equals to limited impact. So if we come when the customer comes to the store, if we just use one sense, like we just focus on the design or just focus for the music or just focus for the scent, that is don't have the big impact that the customer can have cannot have the full experience about that product when they just have one sense. So and the second one is about multisensory enhance memory, stronger emotional bonds, because at that time they have a full experience of that product in that store, when they also can hear, can see, and also can inhale the smell. And so that is mean that is the reason why the more sense engaged, the higher brand recall and preferences. So it also have differentiate that brand in crowded market. So there is some science behind multisensory experience for you to understand why they combine that sensory like that. So firstly, about sensory integration. So brand combines sensory inputs into single experience, and cross-modal perception is one sense influence another. That means when we hear the music, for example, when we come to the fashion store and we hear excitement music, we will feel really happy, and it will lead to the maybe the the excited mood and the positive virtuous behavior. And it's also related to the sight. When we see that product, we feel it more, maybe it's more beautiful. So it's the reason why one sense influence another. And the last one is concurrent sensory cues reinforce messages. The next one is about cross. We will make it clearer about cross-modal perception, about by understanding cross-modal effect. So vision at this equals to packaging color trends perceived squeeze sound at texture is mean crunch sound increase freshness perception. Smell at memory is equal to ambient scent improve product recall. Touch as sound at value is equal to heavier packaging signals premium quality. So moving to the next part is designing multisensory brand strategies. So here we have three key main points for you to remember. So confluence is a key. So sensory cues must fit brand identity, because all the message should be consistent and single-minded for customers to easily remember them. So that is the reason why when we have the mismatch problem, it means that confusion, it will create confusion and distrust. For example, luxury performed in cheap looking packaging reduce perceived quality. The next one is about steps for multisensory branding. So the first one is the marketer and the brand should do is identify brand's core value and personality to map sensory touch points in the second step. So based on that, they can ensure sensory consistent across all the channels like I just talked before. The next step is test the emotional and behavioral response that we can see some first customers come to the store and how they react to the action, to the multi-sensory branding of our brand, to have the address based on that feedback and cultural context. It means that we should observe and understand the customer, and also understand the culture in the place we in the location of the brand. Yes. And the last one is cultural sensory preferences. It's about different regions respond differently to sensory cues. For example, squidiness refer at higher level in US and Japan, and is always localized sensory strategy from the market. Moving to the next one is about multisensory brand elements. So here we have 3 points. The first one is about multisensory logos. It means that combine between visual and auditory identity. So, for example, Coca-Cola script logo add urban and fit sound. That means that when they see that logo, they can hear the sound. Hear the sound when they listen to, because they remember to that. So that it mean that's how it means multisensory logos. The second one is signature scent purchase at sound. It means that scent and sound can be it can be priority assessed. So, for example, Singapore Airlines perform at boarding music to create a better experience for the customer at that time, because when we yes. And the last one is multi-sensory packaging. It's about shape, texture, sound, and scent in unboxing. For example, Apple have a smooth box surface. A surface is about surf and slow and side sound. It's about sound, and also the scent of the new product also make the customer feel really happy when they do that. Maybe you can see some TikToker when they unbox the Apple's product, they will unseal the sound really slowly, and they hear that sound and they feel really happy and satisfied with that. So that is the example of how the marketer can use multisensory packaging in their marketing strategy. So moving to the next one is about multisensory in retail. So we have in-store sensory design. The first one is about sight. We can consider some factors like lighting, color schemes, visual merchandising. About sound is about sound curate playlist matching brand tone. Smell is about ambient scent tied to product category. Sound is about material, temperature, product handling freedom. And taste is about sampling opportunities. And here we also have some case study for you to easier understand. The first one is about Starbucks is the combine between the smell of coffee, at warm decoration, at music, at personal service. That some cups that have their name. So that is the example of multisensory retail experience, that we should make the customer feel fulfilled when they come to the store, when we can meet that demand in all senses, that sound, sight, smell, touch, and taste. And moving to the next one is about multisensory in digital and cyberspace. And here I also have 2 main points for you to remember. The first one is about digital sensory techniques. So, for example, like visual, it means that color, motion, graphics, and typography must be easily to read and most impressive for the customer to catch their attention. For auditory, like some sounds, music, or voiceovers, hypothetically phone vibration, pressure feedback, and emergency is VR and AR to stimulate multisensory environment. About offline and online integration, the consistency across touch points. For example, website visual match store design, app notification, sound mask, brand sonic logo, and packaging reflects online brand tones. The next one is about challenging and ethics. So the first one is about common pitfalls. So overstimulating customers is mean too many competing cues, cultural misinterpretation of sensory signals, and the last one is acceptability negative is ignoring visual impact users. And the next one is about ethical consideration is be transparent about sensory triggers. That means that we don't have a lie to the customer when we trigger them by a scent, and then they receive by another scent when they come to store. So we should avoid it. Moreover, we should avoid manipulative tactics. For example, high to ascend to high product defect. And the last one is consider sensory language and sensitivities. So to sum up all of that information in this chapter, I have a key takeaways here for you, that we have 5 main points. The first one is about multisensory marketing, increased memory and emotional engagement. The second one is cross-modal effects can enhance perceived quality and experience, and this cross-modal effects and perceptions is really important, and that is really effective for the marketers to apply for. The next one is consistently across sense is vital for credibility. Sensory strategies must be culturally adapted, and ethics and accessibility are part of substantial branding. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.